Honorable Ministers, senior government officials, the media fraternity, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our fourth post-cabinet press briefing. Allow me at this juncture to invite our chairperson of the session, Honorable Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Dr. Soda, to present today's cabinet highlights. Over to you, Honorable Minister.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chief Secretary. Let me acknowledge the presence of our ministers who are here with us. Honorable Professor Mthuli Ncube, Minister of Finance. Honorable Dr. Kambamura, Minister of Mines and Mining Development. Honorable Evelyn Ndlovu, Minister of Environment. And we have Honorable Dr. Masuka, the Minister of Agriculture. We also have the Deputy Minister for Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, senior government officials. Today, the 3rd of March 2026, His Excellency the President Dr. E.G. Mnangagwa chaired the 4th Cabinet meeting, and the following issues, among others, were considered and approved. Cabinet received an update on the first round of crop, livestock and fisheries assessment report as presented by the Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, Honorable Dr. Anxious Jongwe Masuka. The survey was conducted by the Zimbabwe National Statistics Agency and adopted a whole of government approach. The area cultivated under staple cereals, including maize and traditional grains, expanded from the targeted 2,427,000 hectares to 2,488,449 hectares during the 2025-2026 agricultural season. Horticulture crops such as mango increased by 17%, avocados 11%, blueberries by 11%, oranges by 10%, and pecan nuts by 10%. Regarding livestock, the national beef cattle head grew marginally by 0.3% from 5,741,397 in 2024 to 5,760,678 in 2025. While the dairy head increased by 7.5% from 65,659 in 2024 to 70,584 in 2025. The growth contributed to a 6.2% rise in commercial raw milk production from 114,699,440 liters in 2024 to 121,846,916 liters in 2025. The household milk production from beef cattle was estimated at 33,100,927 liters, resulting in total milk production of approximately 154,947,843 liters. Based on preliminary findings from the first round of crops, livestock and fisheries assessment report, the following key decisions have been outlined. Number 1, government will accelerate climate proofing agriculture at both household and national levels through the Fumbudza Intwasa initiative. Number 2, government will intensify the development of irrigation infrastructure through encouraging increased private sector participation to expand functional irrigation areas. Number 3, Agroecological tailoring of crop production, along with soil health and fertility management, will be maintained through enhanced agricultural information management systems. Number 4, community gratitude and participation in the strategic grain reserve will be strengthened. And lastly, the Rural Development 8.0 interventions will be accelerated to empower local communities. Cabinet received and approved the Zimbabwe Public-Private Partnership Guidelines as presented by the Minister of Finance, Economic Development and Investment Promotion. The government of Zimbabwe continues to fine-tune the existing PPP framework aimed at leveraging capital and expertise for all infrastructural projects across the country. In that regard, the government has developed new guidelines to be followed by parties, that is government and the private sector, during the entire PPP life cycle, encompassing project identification, development, appraisal, approval, implementation, monitoring, and evaluation, and termination of the PPPs. In addition to providing a structured framework to attract private investment and partnership into essential sectors such as transport, energy, and water, the mandatory guidelines will serve as an important reference tool to all stakeholders in the implementation of the PPPs in Zimbabwe. The guidelines will complement the ZIDA Act in the enforcement of policy compliance, ultimately ensuring that government realizes value for money through the inclusion of revenue sharing arrangements in joint ventures. The guidelines outline financial, technical, and operational risks to be shared between the government and private partners, ensuring that risks are borne by the party best able to manage them. Under the PPP guidelines, government is entitled to a minimum shareholding of 30% in the project joint venture or special purpose vehicle, with an option to increasing shareholding. Other critical elements of the PPP guidelines includes: number 1, thresholds for PPP projects; number 2, classification of PPP projects; number 3, governance and institutional framework for PPPs in Zimbabwe; number 4, processing of PPP projects in Zimbabwe; and lastly, the PPP cycle. Cabinet considered and approved the 3rd National Biodiversity Strategy and Action Plan as presented by the Minister of Local Government and Public Works, Honorable Daniel Garwe, Chairperson of the Cabinet Committee on Environment, Emergency Preparedness, Disaster Prevention and Management. Biodiversity is vital to Zimbabwe's social, cultural, and economic development, yet it faces significant threats from factors such as unregulated land use change, pollution, climate change, habitat loss, invasive species, and resource exploitation. This crisis threatens food and water security and livelihoods. In response, the government of Zimbabwe has formulated the 3rd National Biodiversity Strategy and Action Plan for the period 2026 to 2030, aligning with both national development objectives and international frameworks. The plan emphasizes inclusivity, equity, and intergenerational responsibility. The primary goal is to halt biodiversity loss through strategies focused on conservation, sustainable use, and benefit sharing, supported by 23 targeted actions and goals. The implementation of the plan will adopt a whole of government and society approach supported by a multi-level governance framework led by the Ministry of Environment, Climate and Wildlife.
Thank you, Chief Secretary. My question, I'm Stanley James from ZBC. My question is related to the Minister of Finance, Economic Development and Investment and Promotion, Honorable Mutuniwe. Basically, Professor Mutuniwe, this issue of the new guidelines, the two previous guidelines, whereby 30% for government has been set aside. Why is that 30%? And maybe can you explain the rationale behind the government being on the 30% side, yet at the private sector taking the 70%, and what is its impact in terms of ensuring that certain projects are completed or are fulfilled under the value for money trust?
Yes, thank you very much. Yes.
Yes, thank you. Mine is I'm Richmond Siaburi. I'm Richmond Siaburi Radio Zimbabwe. Mine is directed to the Minister of Mines, Honorable Kangamura, regarding a ban of exports on minerals. I don't know whether that ban is strictly on lithium or it cuts across the mineral line, because there have been several other minerals, including black granite and others, that have been railed out of the country. It is government policy that those minerals should be value aided before they are railed out of the country. So probably people want to know, is it on lithium only, or it's also on all the other minerals?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Chief Secretary. I'm Retina Machimbura from China News Agency. The question is also directed to the Honorable Minister of Mines. I just want to find out for how long is the ban going to last, and also want to know what prompted the government to effect the ban on lithium concentrates, considering that the government previously set that ban for January 2027. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Over to you, Minister.
Thank you very much, Chief Secretary. The first question is directed to Honorable Professor Mutuniwe.
Thank you very much, Chair. The question directed at me came from Stanley James. Thank you very much. How are you? What's the magic about the 30% shareholding? Why 30% shareholding? First of all, let me say, I think it was necessary for the government working with ZEDA, which is a part of government, to come up with these guidelines in the first place. We do not have proper guidelines before, and these are now in place after the cabinet approval, and this is pleasing, and these will be promulgated and disseminated so potential investors know how to go about their business if they want a triple P arrangement with government. So why 30%? The 30% shareholding level meets the threshold of what we call a significant and a material minority shareholder. A significant and material minority shareholder is one who holds at least 26% in a company. So 30% meets that criterion, that threshold. And also we know that with the 30% shareholding, chances are that at least 30% of the board will be staffed by nominees of the entity that government is nominated to spearhead the project on behalf of government. So with 30%, then we can, as I say, contribute towards the governance of the project and the strategic direction of the project, and also are able to vote strategically for the success of the project. So it's a magic figure, but it still gives the project promoters, 70% of the dividends from the project very easily. So it's still significant for the shareholder. 30% is not as intrusive, but is sufficient to protect the interests of government and the interests of citizens. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Tulindube. The second question is directed to Honorable Minister of Mines, together with the third question, if you could tackle both Honorable Polite Kambamura.
Thank you very much. In June 2025, government approved the ban of lithium concentrates to come 1 January 2027. After the notice of the intended ban, the industry responded otherwise by increasing their level of production and also increasing export volumes. There was also an increased appetite for lithium export payments. The rationale behind it was to export as much product as possible before the notice period. We also noted that there was a lot of under declarations that were now being done. The geology of our country is multi-element, which means one deposit can contain many other minerals. For example, the PGM deposit. So the same applies with the pegmatite deposit as well, where we could get lithium. So we had to come in with this intervention of banning the export of lithium concentrates and also any raw minerals or unbeneficiated minerals or minerals that are not value added with effect from 26 February 2026. To answer part of the question, this ban is for lithium concentrates and any other mineral that is not beneficiated. The ban will be in effect as long as conditions or new expectations of government are not met. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Ministers, for responding to those questions. We move to the last round, 3 questions. Wallace.
Thank you, Chief Sec. My question is directed at Honorable Minister Kambamura. Minister, soon after you announced the ban, global prices of lithium shot up. How telling is this of Zimbabwe's position right now in terms of its comparative advantage globally? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Yes, thank you. Mine is directed to Honorable Minister Masuka, where accelerated rural programs for agricultural purposes is concerned. Recently, there is a program launched by the President that tobacco farmers must produce 600 million kgs of tobacco. And when we went out to the rural areas, Honorable Minister, the tobacco farmers are complaining about inadequate water resources and other provisions to ensure that they produce the President's desired 600 million kgs of tobacco. I don't know how accelerated how accelerated is the program 8.0 going to benefit the rural farmers of tobacco who produce 80% of the tobacco in this country.
Thank you. The last. Stanley James, second back. Machingura, second back.
Thank you, Chief Secretary. Maybe for Honorable Mr. Masuka again to just tell us some of the rivers that are currently undergoing rehabilitation, some of the major rivers in the country that have been affected by many that have been rehabilitated.
Thank you very much. Over to you, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Chief Secretary. The first question is directed to Honorable P. Kambamura.
Thank you. Can you repeat the question? Let's read it now.
Anas Rosito from the Herald newspaper. Minister, soon after you announced the ban on the export of raw minerals, prices, primarily that of lithium, on the global market, they shot up. And my question is, how telling is this of Zimbabwe's importance in terms of the green revolution, the global green revolution rather? Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's correct that after the announcement, prices were reviewed upwards just because of one way from government of Zimbabwe through the guidance of His Excellency President Comrade Mnangagwa. Zimbabwe supplies 10% of the global demand for lithium and also 19% of China's requirements for lithium. As a country, considering our pole position and also that we are the largest lithium producer in Africa, we need to benefit considerably from our mineral resource, and we need also to have a voice that can be heard, especially in the energy transition initiative. So Zimbabwe needs also to go green. How do we go green? By further beneficiating our minerals and also benefiting from finished products from lithium resources. So we are not going to be ending on beneficiation to lithium sulfate. We want to attract other companies, other investors, quality investors of course, who will come, set base in the country and manufacture lithium products. Talk of solar panels, talk of lithium batteries and so forth. We do have the ingredient minerals into the green energy transition. So we are at a pole position. The fact that our voice can change global voices, it means we play a nucleus role or a pivotal role in the lithium sector. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Two questions, one from Richmond Siyakurima and the other one from Chingura, directed to Honorable Minister Masuka.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you to Richmond Siyakurima for a very important question. The government came up with a tobacco value chain transformation plan running from 2026 to 2030, in which it has 7 objectives, and among them is increasing sustainable tobacco production from the record 355 million kilograms attained in 2025 to 500 million kilograms by 2030, not 600 million. And it is in that context that government believes that traceable, sustainable production is key to ensuring that the flavorful styles of tobacco that we produce and market to 60 destinations will continue to have takers. It is in this context that the 85% of our tobacco, which is grown by the smallholder sector, is critical for transformation of rural livelihoods and also for general accelerated economic development. The water for tobacco is critical at the first stages, the first three months, because it's a seedbed crop. And with climate change, Zimbabwe is predicted to become drier in the decades ahead, which is why the Rural Development 8.0 interventions by President His Excellency Dr. Mnangagwa are so critical. That's why the President wants a bowl in each village, so that water does not become an impediment to economic development. We have drilled just under 5,000 bowls under this program, and also we have already 41,883 bowls drilled since 1980, and we're capacity testing these to ensure that they are able to provide sufficient water. So the plan is in place, the implementation mechanism is sufficiently dynamic and robust to cater for the water needs for tobacco and any other crop. Tobacco is a generally drought-tolerant crop when established in the field. So the critical aspect is water during the seedbed phase, which is the first 3 months. If it is irrigated tobacco, from 1 June to 1 September when irrigated tobacco is planted, and ordinarily from 15 July to anything 15 August for the dryland crop. That's the seedbed critical period. And for Greater Machingura, the question relating to the listing of rivers that are currently under rehabilitation. Perhaps the context in which we presented this might not have been clearly articulated. The purpose of the presentation to Cabinet was an update on the implementation of the ban on alluvial mining as captured in SI 188 of November 2024. So Cabinet noted the progress that had been the progress with implementation of the directive to ban alluvial mining, and Cabinet was satisfied with that. The next stage was to do some pilot rehabilitation to inform countrywide rehabilitation, and again Cabinet noted with satisfaction the concept of rehabilitating degraded rivers, and also approved the countrywide adoption of the concept so that all the degraded river sites across the 8 rural provinces can begin to be implemented in earnest. And finally, Cabinet approved a legislative framework to accelerate river rehabilitation, and an announcement will be made in due course as to the nature and extent of the impact of that acceleration. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ministers, for responding to those questions. We've come to the end of today's post-cabinet press briefing. We meet next week.